David, good to have you again. So why do you think the consumer sentiment is improving?
Well, the consumer sentiment's obviously improving here post the election, and it is just very obvious that was getting priced in about 5 months ago, and then ultimately we've seen that, and so the consumer is looking at their current conditions in a more positive way, and they're looking at the future in a more positive way. I think as a result of that, I mean, you're sitting here looking at likely the most pro-growth president in U.S. history, America First policy. We're looking at Tax Cuts and Jobs Act 2.0, and then ultimately deregulation. And so these are very big positives for the market, for the economy. And so the consumer is, I think, pretty excited about that.
So what does the 2.8% rise in the PCE index mean for the cost of things like groceries and gas?
Okay, so here's an interesting point on this PCE. Now, we talk about this, and this is the Federal Reserve's, favorite inflation gauge. Now, the PCE has nothing to do with anything that you spend money on, I spend money on, and how we do it collectively as a total, but it's the Fed's determining factor. And so guess what? It's come in at a really nice number. And so the question is whether this is real or not. And I don't know that this is going to be that trend, especially because Powell told us that we should expect higher inflation as we move forward here. But the thing that is very interesting as we look at sort of the updates in the expectations that were just released this week is that they're talking about in the end of 2025 that we're supposed to have PCE numbers 0.1% higher than we are at this moment right now. So it's going to trend backward by the trend, as they're saying. Then in 2 years, we'll be exactly where we are today. So inflation is not really going to be moderating, and I think that we're going to be looking 2025 is the time where we go, you know what, are we on this 2% thing forever? Or are we just going to grow our economy, be okay with 3% or sub 3% on PCE, and just kind of, reevaluate, recalibrate our ideas here going forward?
Yeah, so as you said, Powell indicated that prices are still going to probably climb. Inflation is still sticky. But that consumer confidence is up. You said it's because of the election, the policies we're looking forward to in 2025 for the next 4 years. What specifically are those policies going to have on us, average, everyday Americans?
Well, when we're looking at some of these policies that are being proposed right now, this idea of made in America, which was something that I used to see and remember seeing on items when I was younger. It basically says made in China right now. We are manufacturing here in the United States, and there's a lot of incentives that are being brought to manufacturers, businesses for reinvestment. So as an example, if you bring in $1 billion, then they're going to fast track some of these things, et cetera. And so, then we've got the drill baby drill, which ultimately is going to give us, cleaner and safer manufacturing of oil in a worldwide way, because the United States does it cleaner and safer than everybody else. But we're also going to be bringing the prices down on oil and hopefully some of these strategic metals and things that we need. But we've also got, a pro-crypto SEC that's coming in, a pro-crypto president. 60% of Congress is pro-blockchain right now. And this is a really big deal because we've just been kind of allowing for the last little while China and other nations to advance in this way and sort of become the world's leaders financially. And that's a problem because the United States needs to continue to be that leader. And so this president is putting some things in place right now that seem to be, very pro the people, as it's a decentralized version of blockchain that's being represented and discussed, as opposed to a centralized banking digital currency, which potentially has some challenges to it. And so you couple that with more efficiency. I'm actually pretty surprised that Jerome Powell cut rates here this week.
All right. Well, we do certainly have a lot to look forward to. There is hope for the future moving ahead. If anything, that is the glass half full at this point. David Stryzewski, CEO of OANN Planning. Thank you for your time today, as always.
Alicia, thank you.